All this is a Crypto Prophets. Click on that subscribe button to enable you get notified anytime I drop video contents like this. And without wasting much time, let's hop in straight into the charts. So guys, this is a Crypto Prophet, and I'm referred to as the Lionel Messi of the crypto market. And I want to say this, and I need you all to please listen to me. Kindly take your time and go through this video that you're watching, because this video carries information that is really going to help you. Do not rush, do not slide to get the information so fast. No, if you do that, you're going to miss out of some vital points that I'm going to share with you all today. Okay, so currently guys, we have seen what is going on in the crypto space. Okay, we have seen that the CEO of Binance CZ has stepped down from his position, and a new CEO has been announced for Binance Exchange, and a whole lot of people are scared. Lots of persons are panicking. They're saying Binance is going to fall. Some persons are coming out to say, oh, remember I told you Binance would crash and all of that junk. You know, some persons are just taking advantage of the opportunity to come out and claim that they are, you know, knowledgeable in crypto and all that. But now, I want to say this, guys. If you've watched my last two previous videos, I spoke about something and I mentioned some dates, and I'm going to share with you what happened. I mentioned some dates for you all. As a matter of fact, the last video I produced, I said I see Bitcoin beginning from the 20th of November. I see Bitcoin becoming weak, and you can see that this is playing out, guys. And I also said from the 27th as well. I mentioned dates. As a matter of fact, I spoke about this since the month of October. If you even check my Telegram channel, I've already mentioned some dates again in the month of December. This is why you need to follow me on other social media platforms so that you can get information, because it's not everything I'm going to share on YouTube. Okay, so guys, I want to first talk about something. Let me lead you all to something very important that nobody is talking about and nobody is saying, and I'm going to share this with you because of the Crypto Prophets. What I see, you hardly see it. You may hardly see it. As a matter of fact, the information I share with you all is not something that you can come across easily. Okay, because these are deep secrets, and it only takes a professional who knows this game to actually share this informations with you. So guys, let's go back to time. I want to talk about what happened during the COVID era. Okay, and I produced a video like this in the month of January. I spoke about this. Okay, but I'm still going to talk about it again because I am quite aware most of you who just joined this channel newly, you would not have time to begin going through my previous videos because I've produced more than 80 videos. Okay, so the time for you to go back to begin searching for those videos, it's not really going to be there for you. So let me just give you a brief summary of everything here. So guys, let's go back to the time of the COVID era. There's something I want to share with you all. If we go through the charts, this is the time of the COVID era, guys. And I want to say this now. The very first time that the case of the COVID-19 case was announced globally was on the 17th of June, thereabouts. It was on the 17th of June 2019 that the COVID case was announced in China. And guys, I want us to take note of this. Now, can you see Bitcoin? Bitcoin started dumping beginning from the 28th of November. And I want to say this. Lots of persons were saying Bitcoin crashed because of the COVID news then. But I'm here to tell you that that is wrong. It's not true. Do you know why? Because lots of persons just come out and wake up out of their beds to talk about crypto. They do not understand what it means to study the charts. If you study the charts, if you really understand what crypto is all about, if really you're a professional, you're not going to follow the noise out there. Okay, because a lot of people just talk all manner of rubbish. They come out, they tell you this is what is going to happen, or this is happening because of this. It's quite wrong. And I've proved this to all of you several times. How am I able to call dates? Have you asked yourself this question? Why would the crypto prophet just come out and say, oh, I see Bitcoin crashing on so and so dates? And it's mentioning it weeks ahead, months ahead, days ahead before it happens. And you see Bitcoin actually obeying what I've said would happen. How? But yet you hear some persons telling you this thing is all about news. You know, people who trade forex, who trade crypto, they tell you, oh, crypto is about news. That's all rubbish. If it was about news, how then do I know that so and so time Bitcoin is going to dump? So and so time Bitcoin is going to rise. How then? Go and check my track records. I've spoken several times. It's not a new thing, except if you're new, if you're following me for the first time. But so long as you're old and you've known the pattern of the crypto prophet, you know I have a notable track record for calling dates. So how then do I know this? And most times I would even tell you, you're going to see what I will tell you on BBC. CNN is going to announce it when it happens. And you would actually see CNN announcing it. How do I know? Now, let me tell you all this. During the time of the COVID era, can you see this candlestick here? This candlestick was on the 21st of October, 2019. Can you see that this candlestick encountered this orange line here? This is the Bollinger Bands. This candlestick encountered this orange line, and because it could not break out of this orange line acted as a form of resistance. So this is what began bringing down the price of Bitcoin. And then this red candlestick was formed for the first time. And this red candlestick formed on the 28th of October, guys. Can you see this? Now, let's ask ourselves this question. On the 28th of October, when this candlestick formed, nothing like the COVID news was announced. Can you see this? Look at the next candlestick that formed on the 4th of November. Nothing like the COVID news was announced. But we see here that entering into 11th and 17th, the COVID news came in, and look at how this candlestick reacted. Now, I want to ask you this question. Before then, let's take note of something. There's something I'm driving at right now. Please take note of this. Can you see this line I just drew now? Now, when the COVID news was announced between the 11th to 17th of November 2019, why didn't Bitcoin crash and go below this line? That's the question. But you saw that rather, Bitcoin started picking up. Picked up all the way from 25th November up to 10th February. Can you see that? And now the World Health Organization actually acknowledged. So guys, we see here that on the 30th of January, this was when the World Health Organization announced the COVID-19 as a pandemic, okay? And if we trace on the 30th of January 2020, we see here that this is the candlestick that led us into the 30th of January. And you can see that this candlestick was still green. It was pumping. And as a matter of fact, the next week that even came, taking us into the month of February, you still saw that this same candlestick was still green. Now, when did Bitcoin begin its reversal? It began its reversal on the 10th of February. And you can see here how Bitcoin dropped. Okay, Bitcoin dropped all the way to 53%. Can you see that? Bitcoin dropped by 53%. So now this is the question, guys. Why is it that when the COVID case was announced first of all, remember Bitcoin had already started dumping even before the COVID-19 pandemic was announced in China. And we see here that even when the World Health Organization declared the COVID-19 case as a pandemic, this was on the 30th of January, you still saw that the next week Bitcoin still pumped. And Bitcoin started dumping and having a retracement from the 10th of February. And you saw that Bitcoin came out and took out this line here that I drew. Now, this is the question, guys. What is that news that came out that is stronger than the news that came out here? Because Bitcoin did not dump below here when the main news came out and was announced. Neither did it start dropping after the COVID-19 was declared as a pandemic by the World Health Organization, but you saw that it rather dumped and exceeded this line. This is because this was a correction, launching us into another bull run. There is something I'm driving at, guys. What I want you all to understand is that these things do not control the market. Yes, it affects the market in one way or another, but not the way people exaggerate it to be. This is what I want you all to understand. And the earlier you get this into your mind, the better for you. Because a lot of people out there who are not professionals they are always looking for situations like this to come out and speak all manner of nonsense, telling you it's because of this, it's because of that, trying to cover their lack of professionalism. Now let me share something with you all, guys. Let's go back to when FTX exchange crashed last year, 2022. There's something very important I want to share with you all. Can you see this? Now FTX crashed on it was on the 11th of November. That was when the money laundering case was announced, and the CEO of FTX exchange began coming under persecution and criticism. Now I want to share this all with you all. Now guys, can you see something? Can you see that all the way from the month of March 2022, this was the last time that Bitcoin encountered this Bollinger Bands line. Can you see this orange line here? This was the last time Bitcoin encountered this line into the month of April 2022. And guys, when next did Bitcoin encounter this orange line? Bitcoin encountered this orange line in the month of October 31st. So roughly how many days came into being or passed before Bitcoin encountered this line? 217 days. Can you guys see that for 217 days Bitcoin had not yet encountered this line? It was after 217 days that Bitcoin encountered this line for the first time. So what then should you expect? You should expect a reaction from the markets. And this is why this candlestick here came into being. This is why this candlestick formed, and Bitcoin had what? A correction. But now people attribute this crash to the FTX. It is FTX that brought about this crash. It's wrong, because the charts here cannot lie. Take a look at this. Listen, lots of you have this problem, and I'm not going to blame you. It's because you do not understand what it means to study the charts. This is why you are open to all manner of junk. Anybody can just come to you and tell you, oh, this is it, this is what happened, oh, it's like this, it's like that, and then you believe. Why? Because you do not know these things. And this is why I'm taking my time to show you all this, so that you would understand something. Now I want to say this officially, guys. Bitcoin, the crash of Bitcoin here, this dump of Bitcoin, is what brought about the crash of FTX, and not FTX bringing about the crash of Bitcoin. I'm going to take it again. The crash of Bitcoin is what brought about the crash of FTX exchange, and not the crash of FTX exchange bringing about the crash of Bitcoin. Now let me explain this for you to understand. How do you see this? Bitcoin topped out here in the month of October 31st, when nothing whatsoever was said about FTX. That is when Bitcoin attempted this line. And then when it could not break out, it now began reacting on the 7th. The next candlestick that formed was the 7th of November, and Bitcoin had this reaction and started dumping. Now let me tell you how FTX exchange was affected. It was during this era, during this period, that FTX exchange was still involved in its illegal activities. And then when Bitcoin started dumping, it caught FTX exchange off guard. And this is why there was a reaction. Okay, now let me explain it to you. It's just like you borrowing money from somewhere. Let's say you borrow $1,000 from a company, and then you make use of that $1,000, and you are left with only $100. And that $100 you're left with, you have hope of turning back that $100 back into $1,000, and then suddenly a health challenge steps in where you're needing close to $1 million to settle that health challenge. Now what happens? You are going to end up spending that $100 that you are trying to save to grow back into the $1,000 that you borrowed from the company. You would end up spending that $100 because of that sudden health challenge, thereby leading you into more debts. And unfortunately, the company that you borrowed that $1,000 from is going to come back and begin asking you for their money. So in such a situation, what are you going to do? So this is exactly what happened to FTX exchange, guys. When FTX exchange borrowed monies, the monies in their custody out of the exchange to settle one or two things, and Bitcoin caught them off guard. Mind you, they were not expecting Bitcoin to crash. And I want to say this: do not think most of these top people you hear about in the crypto space, do not think many of them know about the charts. If they knew about the charts, many of them will not lose money. Because if you go and check and see, lots of billionaires, they lost money in this bear market. How? If they had known that Bitcoin would dump from the month of January 2022, they would have not lost money. If they had come in contact with the Cryptoprophet. Remember, I said this from the month of December 2021. I started announcing about the bear market of 2022. So imagine if people like CZ, imagine if people like Elon Musk, imagine if people like the owner of Facebook, Zuckerberg, imagine if they had come in contact with the Cryptoprophet, and I told them that on so and so dates, Bitcoin wants to drop, the market is entering into a bear market, and I see Bitcoin dropping to $15,000, as I said, they would have saved their monies. They would have removed out their monies and they would have been safe. But because they did not know, their monies were cutting and they ended up losing money. So what am I trying to tell you guys? These are things that are facts, undeniable, and I'm showing you from the charts. You can verify everything I say. Everything here is very, very plain, sound, and clear for anybody to understand exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? So whenever you're dealing with cryptocurrencies, you need to understand that it's not 100% about the noise or the news going out there. There are lots of factors, there are lots of hidden secrets in here. Unless you encounter a professional who is going to break it down for you to understand, that's when you're really going to understand what is going on. Now, I want to say this. Take a look at the government of South Korea. I said this some days back. I said the government of South Korea has imposed a ban until the month of June. People are not permitted to trade shorts in the market. Why? Because the government of South Korea knows that the market wants to dump. This is what I want everybody to understand. The government of South Korea is quite aware of this. They are aware that there's a dump coming for the stock exchange market. So they do not want people to short so that people are not going to make money. You know, and then coming over to the Bitcoin ETF, you can see that the Bitcoin ETF has been shifted. And remember, I said this. I said it that there's not going to be any Bitcoin ETF approval until the year 2024. Bitcoin needs to come down before that ETF is going to get approved. Okay, but lots of people were saying, oh, the Bitcoin ETF is going to be approved. Oh, CP, are you sure you know what you're saying? This, that, all manner of noise. Now, where are all those people right now? Has the Bitcoin ETF not been shifted? Has it been approved? Where is all the hype and hopium of Bitcoin pumping to 50k and all that bullshit? Now, let me show you guys something. And I need you all to understand this. Now, what did I say? I said this. I said from the 20th, I see Bitcoin becoming weak. And I want to share something very spectacular with everyone. Please take note of this. This is Link. This is Chainlink. Now, the 20th of November, Link began reacting. Look at this. A red candlestick formed for Link, and before you know it, the next red candlestick that formed broke this trend line here. This is a rising wedge for Link. Instead of Link to pump up, Link rather broke down, and right now you see that the next candlestick that is forming is below this trend line. But when did it start? It started from the 20th of November. Can you see this? Exactly as I prophesied. I told you all, I said beginning from November 20th, be very careful, because I see Bitcoin getting weak, and those words are coming to pass. You know, but a whole lot of persons are not seeing these things. Let me show you Solana. Okay, let's see. Let's check Solana and see. Guys, can you observe something? Look at Solana. Solana has held this rising wedge since the 21st of October. Okay, for the past 29 days, Solana has been trading within this rising wedge. Now, guys, let me ask you a question. When did Solana break this wedge? Solana broke this wedge on the 20th of November. Can you see this? And when did the crypto prophet say, from the dates, from these dates, begin taking notes, be careful, 20th of November. And you see that on the 20th of November, Solana broke out of this wedge. What does that tell you? And look at what happened on the 21st. Look how Solana is dropping. And now, what are you going to say? Are you going to say the announcement of CZ stepping out came on the 20th of November? Are you going to say the crypto prophets heard about the announcement of CZ changing when he called for the 21st of for the 20th of November in the month of October 24th? Are you going to say all that? These are proofs you cannot deny, guys. I spoke about these things clearly, and look at how it's playing out. And this is why I ensure that I come out first and give you information before that date, because that is what a true prophet should do. A true prophet is one who tells you the future. He doesn't come and speak after an occurrence has happened, or he tells you the future, tells you this is what is going to happen, and when it gets to that time, you see it playing out. That is a true prophet. And the crypto prophet has proved to you beyond every reasonable doubt that he's 100% real and he knows exactly what he's doing. Okay, so I want you all to take note of these changes, because these are things I've spoken about, so it should not be a new thing to you. And I also want to say this, guys. Let me shock you all. Okay, I want to shock you all. Now, the 20th of November came. You saw how Solana reacted. You saw how Litecoin reacted. Lots of coins began reacting. Their foundation began getting weaker. And I, the crypto prophet, I have the ability to spot an event on the exact day it starts playing out. You may not see it, but I've seen it. It is as the days go by that you would begin seeing what I've seen. That is it. I have a microscopic vision. So when I tell you this is what is going to happen, I have the ability to mention the exact date it is going to begin taking place. That may not even be visible to the human eye or to the naked eye. But as time goes on, you would see what I've told you. And when you go back to trace that date, you would see that what I told you began exactly from that date. This is how dangerous the analysis of the crypto prophet is. Okay? So I want you all to take note of this. And now let me shock you all. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let me shock you all, guys. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Can you see that Bitcoin broke out of this line here? And Bitcoin has the same formation like Solana, like Link. You can see it's now trading below this wedge. That shows weakness according to what I told you all. And now take note of these dates, guys. 23rd of November, 26th of November, 27th of November, into the month of December, Bitcoin is going to exhibit weakness. I told you all that we are entering into another bear market, and I'm seeing Bitcoin dropping down to 30k. And when we go down to 30k, we are on our journey to 25k. Now, there are going to be some retracements on the road, okay? As we progress, there will be one or two retracements. I'm definitely going to be sharing this with you all. But from what I've told you all, Bitcoin is getting set to go down to $25,000. And it's going to go down to around $20,000. Okay, that is my target for Bitcoin. So now I'm telling you this all plainly. Take note of these dates: 23rd, 26th, 27th. 27th is going to be another stepping stone again into another phase, and Bitcoin is going to react more. Okay, now this is my question to you all. How then do I know these dates? How then do I know that these things are going to play out? Because I am now shocking you all by mentioning 23rd. I'm mentioning 26th. I'm telling you 27th into the last days of the month of November, entering also into the month of December. And I'm seeing the 4th of December. I'm seeing the 4th of December. I'm even seeing the 11th of December. And I'm even seeing the 25th of December. Listen, guys. Now, are you going to say that the crypto prophet is relating with CZ? Are you going to say the crypto prophet is relating with Satoshi Nakamoto? You know, to be telling you these dates. This is me calling dates for you. Telling you so and so thing is going to happen on so and so date. Do you think it's ordinary? You think I'm just playing with crypto and you're seeing it happening before your eyes? And someone out there is deceiving you, telling you it's because it's Bitcoin, it's CZ, it's this one. That's all bullshit. I've just given you an explanation of what is going on. Those things actually play out. Those things actually affect the market, no doubt. But the main thing that affects the market is the charts. And I'm telling you this, guys, the stock exchange market wants to crash. I'm saying this. Look at what the South Korean government is doing. The stock exchange market wants to go down. Let's check the NDX. I'm saying this. I'm just giving you a very brief example with the Nasdaq. Okay, the stock exchange market is getting set to go down. Okay, if we check the S&P 500 to the same thing, if we check the VIX. Okay, let's check the VIX now and see. Okay, let's check the VIX, the volatility indices. Now, take a look at this, guys. Look at what the VIX is forming. The VIX has reached its base. Can you see that this base here was in the month of June 2023? The same base here, and what happened? The VIX shoot up. Can you see this? Look at this, guys. From here to here, the VIX rose by 48%. Now, the VIX still touched this same base again. This was on the 15th of September. And what happened? Look at how the VIX surged in price by around 79%. And now the VIX is still touching this same line again, guys. So what do you expect? So are you going to say that all these things were just happening because of coincidence? Listen, what you don't know, you do not know. Okay? This is why I tell you all. I said, if you encounter the crypto prophet, you will be humbled. Because I do not follow the news out there. If I was following the news, there are certain things I will not do. There are certain things you will not even see me doing. I will not even have the boldness to come out and tell you this is what wants to happen. Why? Because I would feel the market is controlled by news. But you see me coming out, I tell you this is what wants to happen with all boldness, with all audacity. I'm telling you so and so date. I'm even mentioning the date and the time for you. Are you not scared of such a person? Do you think we are H-mates? Listen, guys, I'm not here to talk much, but the truth is this. I'm just here to give you the right information, and I'm here to tell you that nothing is going to happen to Binance Exchange. Binance Exchange is not going to crash, okay? Nothing would happen. As a matter of fact, the Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved, but not now. In the year 2024, the chances are high. But I'm telling you this, that Bitcoin is going to crash before that takes place. We are going to have a correction, and that would be the last correction. And now let me say this boldly, guys. Even if the Bitcoin ETF is being approved, highest Bitcoin's price is going to pump. But that would be after Bitcoin's price has had a correction. So by the time the ETF is being approved, even if it's one ETF, it's still going to trigger the price more. Okay, to pump. But at the end of the day, all that is going to get absorbed by Bitcoin, because there's so much of money inside Bitcoin, guys. So all this fueled and hype, oh, the ETF is going to shoot Bitcoin to $200,000, $500,000. That's all bullshit. It's not going to happen. As a matter of fact, the next all-time high of Bitcoin is going to be around $80,000 thereabouts. I'm not seeing Bitcoin hitting 100K even in the next 5 years. Go and write down this prophecy. The crypto prophet is saying he's not seeing Bitcoin hitting that 100K in this next bear market. This next bull run that is coming, because the momentum, the volatility of Bitcoin is getting weaker as more money is being pumped in. So Bitcoin is soon going to get to the stage of the S&P 500. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Let me show you guys what I'm actually talking about. Okay. Because a lot of you just believe in so much of lies, hype, and hopium that at the end of the day, nothing to show for it. Nothing. This is why you need people like the crypto prophet to put you through. Now, look at the last time that the S&P 500 had an all-time high. Can you see? This is because there is so much of money in here. Trillions of dollars in here. Okay, look at this. Look at the all-time high. It's not even high. It's not much, around 21%. Look at that. Look at that. Can you see that? Look at the last all-time high. Okay, now when is this going to achieve another all-time high again? When is this going to break out? It's going to take time. You know, this market has trillions of dollars inside. Bitcoin is getting to this stage. It would no longer be like in the early days where you see unrealistic pumping. You know, that was because it was still new and monies were just coming in. But right now, there is a lot of money coming in. So when the Bitcoin ETF is approved, there will still be more money coming in. And by the time there's more money, it is going to decrease the volatility. So it's not going to be like before. Definitely Bitcoin is going to enter $500,000, but the truth is that it may not even be in the next 20 years or even 30 years from now. And I'm going to produce another video that I'm going to teach about this, because we are entering into a period for the stock exchange market that the stock exchange market has a consolidation for more than 10 years. I'm going to share that video with you also, that you would understand. This is why I'm a grandmaster. I have access to mysteries and secrets that you may not see, or you may not have access to. And finally, let me say something, guys, before I end this video. This time the stock exchange market is involved in a dump, because there's a bubble that is coming. The United States government is entering into a recession beginning from next year. So this time the stock exchange market is moving in accordance with the crypto space as well. This is what a lot of people do not understand, because they don't know. You know, I told you all the previous time in my last video, I said when you're analyzing crypto, you need also to understand how the stock exchange market works. If not, you're wasting your time. Because when the stock exchange market is involved in an analysis, the market must obey what the stock exchange market is saying. But lots of people do not know this. They just feel crypto is just about crypto. You know, so this is why the Crypto Prophet is able to come out, tell you on so and so dates, this is what is going to happen, and you see it playing out, telling you something like this wants to occur, and you see it happening. You cannot argue with me. Try arguing with me. If you feel you can argue with me, produce what I do. Come out boldly, mention dates, mention time, and see if it will come to pass. Not just once, do it consistently, because I've had a very notable track record. So what are you talking about? So guys, take note of these dates. I see the 26th, 23rd, 26th, 27th into 30th. Okay, and I'm even seeing the 4th, 11th of December. Just watch out and see, guys. You will see Bitcoin start getting weak. So ask yourselves, is it because of Binance? Is it because Binance CEO was changed? Is it because of the money laundering and all that? I've been mentioning these dates from time. So what are you talking about? So guys, I leave you with these words. Trade safe. Follow the Crypto Prophets. Remember, very soon, I'm not going to be dropping informations like this. Okay? Very soon, you're not going to be hearing informations like this from me again, because the time is coming for me to concentrate on the bull run. So guys, thank you so much for your time. I'm the Crypto Prophet. See you in my next video. God bless you. Thank you.